Nobody is saying anything. I tried to reach the state chairman of the party, but he was not available. I also tried reaching the publicity secretary to no avail. I could only get one of the executives of the party, and she said, a woman, she said they are not sure whether the primary election will still take place. But they are considering so many things, which she will not tell me. But somehow she whispered that maybe Senator Uche might decide to support Sharon. Since Sharon has been the member of the party for such a long time. And Uche is the new entrant. But those are still rumors. Nothing is clear up until now.
Thank you so much, Joy Odinye. Of course, keep your phones open so that whenever you're getting calls from any member of the party, so that we can know when this exercise will end, and of course the update on this. Thank you so much for talking to us, Joy. That's my colleague there in Anambra, keeping tabs on the situation there on the ground. Of course, what do we know legally about this matter? Let me quickly give you an understanding of what the official there, when he announced the results that were gotten at that time, and this is exactly what he said.
As at now, you have had a score. We have 16 void votes. We have 35 for Sharon, and we have 284 for Uche Ekwunife. There are 3 local governments that have not been done. That means, as at now, in the rule of election, the election is inconclusive. So nobody should say announce the result. It is not, and we start tomorrow. Okay? 10 o'clock on the dot. The local governments are Idemili North, Idemili South, and Oka North.
10 o'clock dot, unfailingly, but it has failed. Well, that's how it's been there at the APC, Anambra Central District Primaries. Well, let's bring some legal perspective into this matter, as I have a senior lawyer and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Dafe Akpedeya, who joins us via Skype from Abuja. Thank you so much, Mr. Akpedeya, for joining us. Tell me, there are a lot of implications, of course, I know, with this matter. Of course, one would think that at first, there are some school of thought who says that after that election, nobody should have the right to present candidates. They should just prepare for a fresh election. And that's other school of thought are saying that, well, they could actually get new candidates for the exercise. What are your thoughts, and what does the law say about this very interesting scenario playing out in Anambra State?
Sure, good evening. How you doing?
I'm fine.
As it is, that's not straight targeted, and that's why you have all sorts of interpretation going forward. When a matter like this happens and the Court of Appeal does truncate a seat of a sitting senator, what you get is that a lot of things begin to play open because they don't have the luxury of time to determine what happens. The truth about it is that the vacancy has been created for the Anambra Central Senatorial District, which has to be filled. And because of the time lapse in which they need to do the elections, it becomes a little bit difficult to look at the constitutional provisions to determine whether you can replace the candidate or whether it just can happen just like that.
Okay, one would think again, with what we have on the ground, 3 major parties running for this race. Of course, the PDP hasn't decided on who to run. This time around, when we saw the candidate of the PDP then, who won that exercise, Senator Uche Ekwunife, moving to the APC, what does the law say about those kind of movement very close to this kind of election when, of course, the court says 90-day window is what is given for this exercise?
What I find curious and which has happened in our political terrain is that candidates have been moving within parties. And you see a candidate win an election, lose an election, and go into another party and want to contest. Before now, you had expected that the constitution of the various political parties do create some level of timeline on which you can cross and contest election. But a cursory look at the APC constitution does not seem to create a timeline within which you can cross and actually contest the elections. And that's why Uche Ekwunife seems to be wanting to say she wants to contest under the APC banner as it were now. Understandably, the PDP, I can see why she's crossing over. It will appear that this is a bandwagon effect. APC seems to be government at the center, and for some reason they think there's an added advantage of being an APC candidate. If not, you would have thought that you would have stayed in the PDP and not have any challenges, especially since the PDP has not come up with a candidate. APC, the party to beat right now, so everybody wants to get a ticket from the APC.
Interesting, but how will these things play out now? We've met on the field during elections, and of course, you know, someone moving from one party to the other. How do you think things will play out, especially in a senatorial election where you have about 7 to 8 local governments going to the polls? The APGA candidate is saying that INEC should not allow any candidate to hold, any party to hold primaries. It should just present their candidates. Do you see any legal battle hovering around this particular exercise in the long run?
Because of a time constraint, obviously it's going to be difficult to have a full-blown primaries. And that's the challenge. Obviously, because APGA had done a primary of their time, they will be insisting that their candidate is the one that has probably gone through the mill and actually become a candidate through a primary process. But then if you insist on that, then it will be an election of APGA only, because then the other two parties, APC and PDP, will not be able within the time frame to do a thorough primaries. The argument that's coming from the APC angle is that between that and Sharon, who is the other contestant on the APC, there's the argument whether Ekwunife has really qualified to contest against the other candidate. Now, if APC comes up with one candidate and the stadium becomes one of an affirmative vote, yes or no, if that's your candidate, then it might just comply with the guidelines of having done through the primaries. Remember, we should not forget, the reason why Ekwunife was shut down was because she didn't have proper primaries in the PDP in the first place. So they need to be very careful to ensure that they pass through that meal of having done a primaries that is legitimate, that can stand the test of time. So you don't do an election process where you have won, what subsequently happens that you're shut down because primaries have not been properly done.
All right, Ms. Adafe, just hold that thought there. We're going on a break now, and when we return, more thoughts about this election, and of course, I will be getting your thoughts, of course, on the issue of the Constitution Amendment. 4 billion naira was what was said to have spent on that exercise, and the 7th Assembly, that has been reawakened again, and the 8th Assembly. How do we go from here? That's our focus next on the program. Join us again.